Good afternoon, Mukwonago. Welcome back from the den, where all things Mukwonago are open for discussion. The podcast where we share stories, people, and projects that make the village of Mukwonago such a special place to live, work, and visit. I'm your host, Diana Dykstra, village administrator, and today is another really exciting episode because we are introducing two of the newest members of the Mukwonago Police Department. Next week, they will begin one of the biggest challenges of their career as they head off to the police academy. So before they leave, we wanted to bring them here and give them an opportunity to speak to you, for you to meet them, hear their stories, and wish them well. So welcome to the show, Zade Loebel and Evan Baczyk.
Hello.
Welcome, guys.
Hi. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for holding off for that introduction there. Sorry about that. This is absolutely quite an accomplishment here because, as I understand it, we have never sent two officers to the academy together. So this, I can imagine, is going to be some pretty amazing memories for you guys throughout your career.
Yeah.
Tell me, let's start with Zade here. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
So I graduated from Kettle Moraine High School, and then from there I went to the University of Wisconsin-Eau Claire to pursue a criminal justice degree. So I was going to get my bachelor's degree, but then I was blessed with the opportunity to work for the village of Mukwonago as a full-time officer. So yeah, I'm extremely happy now.
Yeah, we're happy to have you.
Yeah.
How about you, Evan?
My name is Evan Baczyk. I grew up in the area. I graduated also from Kettle Moraine High School. Upon completion of high school, I went to WCTC for my associate's degree in criminal justice. And after that, I went to Lakeland University for my bachelor's in criminal justice. And while doing that, I also worked in the correctional setting for 3 years in the jail.
Oh, that is excellent. Yeah. What, leading into the next question, I'm actually going to start with you, Evan. You probably knew all along that you wanted to be a police officer because you majored in criminal justice and then worked in the criminal system. But was there one moment in your life or influence that made you want to go into police?
As long as I can remember, it's like I've always kind of known. I always saw law enforcement officers as role models, as heroes in your local community. I've seen officers that look very squared away in their uniform. They have that they're approachable, but at the same time they still have that command presence. I always saw them as something that I would want to become.
I can see that. How about you, Zade?
So thankfully I was raised in a household with two teachers. So yeah, so my dad actually works at Kettle Moraine High School. He helps students with credit recovery, and then my mom works down in Delvendarian, and she's a reading specialist, so she helps kids with like dyslexia. So just growing up around them and seeing them helping kids who may not have the best privileges and just being like, hey, like we want you to succeed, and I wanted to be that person. And so I just found that policing is the career that I was going to go to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is a great opportunity. So, you could have probably gone to any police department. Zade, why did you pick Mukwonago?
So originally I was a reserve officer for the village of Mukwonago.
Excellent.
Yeah, and so from there I was able to meet a lot of the command staff. So I met Lieutenant Kirkpatrick, Lieutenant Kreiser, and then eventually I met Chief D'Amato. And just talking with them and hearing their philosophies on how policing should be, I'm just like, dang, this is where I want to be. This is a culture that I want to surround myself with, and this is family now. So
That is excellent.
yeah.
I love that. Evan?
I definitely agree with Zade's last point about the family aspect. I think the village of Mukwonago as a whole, it's a very tight-knit community. It's kind of one of those places where a lot of people know a lot of people. Everyone knows everyone. And when I applied, to be a police officer for this agency. I noticed I was like welcomed in almost immediately. How before I even exactly knew my start date, before I was like technically even hired, I was being invited to some of the events um, that the department was holding, and it felt like I was already being brought into the family, and that's something that I very much value.
That is really nice. You know, we used to say you can't really get away with much because they all know your parents or
Yeah,
they
that's
know your
true.
family, and
Mhm.
Yeah.
so that's a really nice feeling. Um, what is you? You probably already answered this question, but let's start with Zaid. What is one thing that has impressed you most about the village or the police department as general?
Yeah, so one thing that's impressed me the most is just how inviting everyone is. So, like Evan said, we were both getting invited. They had meetings, they had almost like lessons. And so just being invited to those, and also you're not frowned upon if you don't have a lot of tenure. So, like Officer Steinbrenner, he just had his
Ah,
30 years,
that's right.
and it's like I feel like I can go and talk to him and I can ask him questions, and he's
Everyone's
not just
approachable.
yeah, so he's not just gonna be like, "Well, you're new, so I'm not gonna talk to you." So everyone's willing to help, and that's what's impressed me the most.
Excellent. How about you, Evan? Anything that's impressed you about the village or the police department the most?
I think going off of what Zaid said, with how everyone has different levels of experience, each officer has their own, different personal background. Every officer has like their own approach to law enforcement. Like some people are very like traffic heavy. They like to to allow pull vehicles over if they meet the standard for a traffic stop. Other people, they're very big into getting drunk drivers off the road. Other people enjoy being present in the community and going to calls. Like every officer has their own reason for doing the job, and you can learn a different part of the job and a different piece as to how you're going to be an officer. You can learn from all the other officers.
Great point. Um, so you're leaving for the academy next week. How are you feeling, Zaid?
I'm excited. So I know that WCTC is the best police academy in the state. I know that for sure because we were just talking about that with Chief D'Amato. So and he's talking about all the instructors there, and he's like, they're just great people, and we all know they have a lot of experience. So just being able to learn from them and gather their experience and insights on the ins and outs of the job, that'll be very exciting.
Are you nervous?
Uh, yes, but it's a good
Healthy
nervous.
nervous.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I
So
can
it's
see it. Excited,
yeah, and
nervous.
they're setting us up for success.
Yeah,
We're not there
absolutely.
for to fail basically. So
Right,
yeah,
right.
it's a good nervous and excited.
Yeah. How about you, Evan?
I think the same. I'm obviously very much excited for everything I'm going to learn, the relationships I'm going to build along the way. But of course, there's a like healthy bit of nervousness too, because there's a lot of things that you have to learn, a lot of things you have to study for, and a lot of things you're gonna have to know. Um, I think one thing I'm really looking forward to is like the evoc track, learning about driving the vehicle through the cone course, the snap turns, and things like that, and how that can translate to different tactics of doing a traffic stop, how to pull a vehicle over, but also do it safely as to not block other traffic on the road. Just the very small pieces that are going to help me along the way. I'm trying. Someone was saying before, like you should know a little about a lot, and I'm looking forward to is learning as much as I can.
You know,
Trying to
that's
be a
really
sponge.
interesting when I hear you guys talk about these pieces, because us general residents, we don't think about that. Like, you have to have training in each one
Hmm.
of these
Mhm.
areas where we just assume you put on a uniform and get behind a wheel and start doing your job.
There's quite a
There's
lot
so
to it.
much
Yeah.
training.
Yeah.
Um, if you were to pick one thing out of the academy, and I know you had just mentioned the EVOC training, but what is one thing you're really looking forward to learning?
Um, I know you said the evac training.
Hmm.
That'll be exciting. And there'll be defense and arrest tactics, and I think it's useful for us to know because it's stuff that we're gonna be dealing with a lot of the time, and just being able to do things properly and smartly and within the constraints of the law. I think that's training that's very reasonable for us to have.
And probably healthy too, because if you think about it, you have to do something a certain way because there's probably some medical reason why you have to act in a certain manner. I have no idea because I'm
Yeah, no, you're completely
but
right.
I'm thinking, if you grab somebody in a certain way, you could maybe break a bone versus,
Mhm.
just kind of taking control of them or something.
Yeah, and I know like our officers are super great, and this is the police academy that we're going to is the longest police academy that they've ever had. I think we're there for like 1,000 hours. So
Oh, okay, that's good to know.
yeah, so it's like we're building off the experience and teaching that they have. So if they're already this good, I think they want us to just be like even better and keep growing and keep growing. So then we can keeping the community safe, and just keep developing as officers.
About the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like Chief D'Amato was saying how he's big into traffic enforcement because with a traffic stop, you're making contact, you're trying. It's almost like an investigation. Like you're practicing all the other skills to everything else with even something so simple, and you could learn. Like I said, you can learn a little bit about a lot.
And there's a little bit of customer service rolled into there too,
Oh,
because there should be
absolutely.
something else going on, and you could be giving some directions or helping provide information about the community or
It's
all
not
those.
always
That's
what you
that's
say;
the
it's how you
administrator
say
in
it.
me. I'm
Yeah.
thinking about how you can help us,
Yeah,
right?
Mhm.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, the next question I was looking at was about community policing, and I got to see you both at the farmers market yesterday. So I know you know how important it is to build relationships, and I can see you guys have this. You have this demeanor within yourselves. You're going to be great officers. Um, what when residents see you, what do you want them to know about you? Let's start with you, Jade.
Um, the thing that I want everyone to know most, not about me, but just the police department in general, is that um we're there for everyone. We're people too. So I know we have a lot of people in the department who are fathers and who have kids. So we're very relatable people, and we want to see people succeed, and we want to see people healthy and happy. So if we have people coming up to us, like, feel free, you can talk to us. We're not like, we don't have closed gates. We want people, we're just here to help. So
That is
yeah.
excellent. How about you, Evan? What do you want people to know about you?
I think going off of what Zaid said, with the department, like not every traffic stop is it doesn't always need to be a negative interaction. We're very approachable people. Like not every traffic stop is going to result in a trip to jail. It's not always going to be a ticket. It's not always going to be a court date. It could always be a positive interaction, like just verbally letting you know that hey, you need to fix your tail light, or just they might not have known. So it's just always keeping in mind that we're all people and we're all just here to help each other.
That is excellent. I love that. Um, if there was a young person listening to us today and maybe they're thinking about a career in law enforcement, what would you tell them?
So I feel as though I can speak maybe a little bit from experience here. So currently I'm 19 years old. So to people who are my age or maybe a little bit younger, just getting into college, if this is what they want to do, I say you should pursue it 100%. You're gonna learn so much. You're gonna meet so many great people. You're gonna form relationships that you may have not formed, and you're gonna find friends that you'll have for the rest of your life.
Awesome.
I think one thing that I would say is if you know this is what you want to do, you should definitely take it seriously and think about it in all aspects of your life. Number one, like stay out of trouble because something that might pop up during a background that you might have to explain in an interview, you don't you don't want to have that. So just
Yeah.
stay out of trouble. Do the best you can in school. Try to learn as much as you can in anything you do, and just overall, just try to stay in shape and be a good member of the community.
So you both have probably noticed that we do have several officers that have over 30 years of experience here. And we hope that you continue to build your career and your relationships with us over the next 30 years. Mukwonago is truly an amazing place to live and raise your family. So we hope when you get to that point that you'll be with us during that period of time in your life and consider raising your family here too. Sounds like we're on track for that
Yeah.
here. We're very excited to have you guys and very excited to see the progress. I hope that you'll keep us posted throughout your academy journey and after. I know Chief D'Amato will probably report to us and tell us how you're doing.
Yeah.
I just have a quick lightning round here for you. So I'm going to shout out a couple of things and I want you to tell me which you prefer.
Okay.
Coffee or energy drink?
Coffee.
Both, but usually coffee.
Morning person or night owl?
Night owl.
Night owl.
Favorite Wisconsin restaurant?
I'm gonna say Badger Burger.
Ooh.
I like Culver's.
Yeah. Favorite sports team?
Packers.
The Brewers.
Definitely. Okay. Truck or sports car?
Trucks.
Sports car.
See, that's awesome. I love it. Well, folks, thank you so much for joining us today on behalf of the Village Board, the Police Department, our employees, and the entire Mukwonago community. We want to congratulate you on this amazing opportunity. Evan and Zade, we know the Academy is going to be challenging, but we're excited to hear about your journey. And folks, thank you for listening from the Den, where all things Mukwonago are open for discussion. Until next time.